All right, we're live again. Sorry about that, folks. I hit the ended button instead of it's just coming out and trying to jump back in. But hopefully, we've got a better internet connection now, and hopefully, we'll have some folks joining us really soon. But yeah, so no, what I was asking you about a while ago was what was the first Power Rangers comic you mentioned a while ago that you said that you had collected?
So the very first Power Rangers comic books that I bought were issue zero, uh, which was the very first comic books produced by Boom. Um, I bought the red and black helmet covers. Now they made, the red and black, and obviously, they made the pink and the blue and the yellow, and they also have the green and white. And I got those. The green is a 1 of 50, and the white is 1 of 100. And I do have those as well. Let me grab them real quick. I know it's not the show off time, but
No, it's always good.
Broken 9/8, and of course, I gotta have my Tommy books and 9/8. I need to send other ones to CGC as well because those are all 9/8 candidates as well. But yeah, that was the very first book. Or books in the Power Rangers comics since Boom Studios took it over. And now we are, 59, 60 issues into Power Ranger comics by Boom.
So as far as the Green Ranger growing up, what was it about Tommy that you said, that's my man, that's my boy right there, and as opposed to some of the other ones?
I think the one thing that I really liked about him was that he was able to take on the rest of the Power Rangers basically by himself, and he had like really cool powers. He had, I'm going to see if I can grab this real quick. I have it right next to me. So he has his Dragon Dagger, which summons the Dragon Zord. Here, let me grab it right here. So he has his Dragon Dagger that he can blow into. It's a little flute thing. That's not. I mean, it sounds like a flute on the show, and it summons the Dragon Zord. So he had his own Zord, and he was able to take on the Power Rangers all by himself, and he was basically had them beat. And not only that, he was obviously into martial arts, and I was really, really, really into Taekwondo as a kid. I got to the last belt you can get in Taekwondo before you become a black belt, and then I decided I'd rather play sports. So he was Taekwondo. He had long hair, like at the time, long hair for a boy was really cool, and I had long hair too. And the fact that it was like kind of evil, but he wasn't evil. Like, I don't know. There was just a lot to like about him, and he was dating the Pink Ranger, and obviously as a kid, I liked the Pink Ranger. I wanted to go too. So.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of that James Dean type, on the edge side of the law kind of guy. And, to me, that's what kind of made him cool to me. I've got the Tommy Pop, which was supposed to have been signed, and they canceled the con 3 days before it happened because of some COVID deal or something. So you got the helmeted one signed, yeah. So if things hold up in April, the Huntsville Comic Con that Two Brothers and some of those guys up there in North Alabama attend, he's going to be there, and I plan to get him to sign that there then. They held the con last year, so of course, the other guy, he had a good first name.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy's real name is Jason.
Yes, it is.
So that's good as well. But I actually met the Red Ranger at
the same con that Two Bros was at.
What's that?
The Huntsville Comic Con. He was there.
Yeah, I actually seen him in January of last year.
Okay.
And so I had already got him to sign that before I got him before that one. So yeah, that was kind of the cool thing. I think that was everybody's deal. I mean, not to take anything away from any of the other guys, but the Green Ranger comes in there and picks up the girl, that rugged martial artist. I think that the things that you saw in him are the same things that a lot of people saw in him and made him their favorite Ranger. And he's a pretty cool dude, as I understand it in real life.
He really is. Like, he plays the part like really well. Like he plays into the crowd, and he posts a lot of stuff on social media to get people excited. And he knows like the Green Ranger is the baddest dude of the whole team, and he's probably still the baddest dude of the whole team. Like, he's the most in shape. He still does karate classes. Like, he teaches them to people. Like, I bet he could still beat up every other Power Ranger that's still around. You know what I mean? So he's definitely cool. He's definitely what the ladies say, dreamy.
Yeah, that I imagine he could. Of course, he did play Bloodshot in the YouTube made for YouTube movie of Ninjak Takes on the Valiant Universe. Now, I will say this before we go on. As I've done with some of these others that interviews I've done, I've given a book away if we get up to a certain amount of people.
Okay.
So if everybody that's in the chat will shout us out over on the Instas or wherever else that you do stuff at, and if we get up to 20 people in the chat, I am going to be giving away some Power Rangers books tonight.
Let's see them.
So, one of them being Power Rangers #1.
All right.
And
good read.
Also the free comic book day, Power Rangers, The Road to Ranger Slayer.
That is really good.
And we can talk about that series in a moment because I read that one as well. And then also Go-Go Power Rangers #1. So
are you sure you want to give that away?
Why?
Because there's a first appearance in there.
Why are you making me hesitate? I'm trying to give the people some stuff, and
you should just give that to me. I already had that one. Wait, is that Forever Rangers or is that the regular Go-Go Ranger?
That's Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers. That's
okay, cool. There you go. All right. If that's the regular #1, then there's a first appearance in there that you, after next week, you might be like, oh crap.
Well, hey, that is if we get up to 20. If we don't get up to 20, it'll still be mine and whatever. So, but yeah, so as a thank you for those of you who are showing up in here, we will do that. And like we did last week, we will put out a trivia question into the chat. And if you're the first person to answer it after the starting line drops, you will be the winner of those 3 shown books right there. So be sure to check that out while you listen to us talk about a little Power Rangers. So I know the Power Rangers went through a lot of different iterations, right? Different teams like, is it Zeo or, different TV teams, right? So, based on, for me, the OG team is kind of what I know. That's really my limited knowledge, but I know they've gone through iterations since then. So basically, did they recycle the characters with different costumes? Are they totally different actors? Or what can you tell us about that?
I'm letting people know really quickly that you're live. Okay, now I can answer your question. So your question is if they recycled the actors or not, if they came up with new ones, and what about the costumes and the names and all that? Okay, so I can tell you that the first couple seasons, they kind of kept like the same actors, but they gave them like different powers and different colors. But after Turbo, actually really like the Mighty Morphin team, then for the most part became the Zeo team, and then the Zeo team became the Turbo team. And then during Turbo is when they basically everyone changed except for the blue actor, which was at that time the little boy who became he was a boy, but when he became a Ranger, he became an adult. It was stupid. So, but everyone else changed except for him. And then they went to Power Rangers in Space, and that pretty much stayed the same. But then every single season after that, they got a new team every single season. And the colors, for the most part, stayed the same. Like, you're always going to have a Red Ranger in there. You're, for the most part, always going to have a Yellow Ranger. And then you're usually always going to have a Black or Blue Ranger as well. But then they mix in other colors too. Like a couple seasons ago, they had like 9 Rangers. And then the current season only have like 3 or 4. So it just changes all the time. So.
Okay. So do you have the first appearance of the Power Rangers in comics?
So that has been disputed as to which appearance is their actual first appearance in comics. I do have the Hamilton Comics Power Rangers #1. That is their first appearance in their own title. But Super Sentai #2 is their actual first appearance in comics. I do not have that book. That book's like a $400 to $500 book. I do not have that one, and I do not have the Power Rangers issue 0 Comics Pro Edition, which is a Red Ranger helmet like the one I have, but he's also wearing the dragon shield, which is what the Green Ranger wore, because in one episode he does wear the dragon shield, and it was a limited number. There was like only 200 made, and that book's like a $500 book too. So those are like the two big issues that I'm missing, but I have pretty much all the other ones.
So are you collecting the single issues of course, I know, and we'll talk about this in a minute, how they've kind of rebooted the series, but up until this point, were you already collecting both sets of Power Rangers books and the singles and the variants and all that kind of stuff?
Okay, so they used to have, so they started with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then they had another series called Go Go Power Rangers, which you have. That was a separate series that was like it was the same team, obviously, but it dealt with them as they first became the Power Rangers before the Green Ranger joined the team, while Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was right after the Green Ranger joined the team. And so like it was the same team in two different like times in the timeline, I should say. And then Go Go Power Rangers ended in 32. Mighty Morphin ended in issue 55, and then they relaunched with Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, where the Omega Rangers, which is, I don't even know how to describe them. They are the original red, black, and yellow Rangers that did actually in the show. They actually left and they brought in new Rangers during the Mighty Morphin season because those three actors wanted to get paid more because the show was doing so well. And Saban said, "Go kick rocks." So he brought in three new people and said they were going to Peace Corps. Well, the writer of Power Rangers, Ryan Parrott, didn't like that they just left for no reason like that. So he came up with a whole elaborate that they became the Omega Rangers, and you see that starting in issue 41 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and obviously in the Power Rangers, when they break off into Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, the Power Rangers book is about the Omega Rangers. Well, the Mighty Morphin book is about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I talked a lot there, but yes, I'm collecting everything. I will say I do not have issues 33 through 38 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because that is not about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was about like all these different Rangers from all these different timelines for Beyond the Grid. And it was right after the Shattered Grid event. And so they were kind of like stuck in space. So even though it was called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it wasn't about any of the Mighty Morphin team. So that's why I wasn't reading it. But then the Mighty Morphin team came back in issue 40, so I grabbed issue 39, the one right before it. So I am missing a couple books only because they didn't have to do with the original team. Because like you, I really only know the original team. So
okay. All right. Well, let's jump in the chat. Phil Ailing's up in the house. What's going on? He does ask, how do you like Turtles and Batman series?
Oh, I love it. Volume 3 was the best, followed by Volume 1 and then Volume 2. I don't know if you'd agree with that or not.
I have not read Volume 2 and 3. I read 1, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So Captain Comics is wishing me happy birthday, although it's not my birthday, but I can pretend anyway. Whack Comics is up in here because Burke messaged him. So
I did.
And then we've got Flash # Team Omega Rangers.
He does like the Omega Rangers. And you know what? I will say, like, I really thought that I was going to like the Mighty Morphin book more because it's about the original team. But the Omega Rangers are good too because I obviously know them from the original Power Rangers, and they get to do a lot of things that you can't do in a Mighty Morphin book. And I thoroughly enjoyed it because they also have Lord Draken in that book. So.
Now, so let's talk about that. So that's Mighty Morphin, correct?
Mighty Morphin.
Power Rangers has the other OG team and the new Green Ranger, because there is a new Green Ranger. It's not Tommy anymore, correct?
That is correct. It's gonna be revealed very soon. I think from what I understand, I mean, I'm actually surprised that I don't have a copy yet of next week's book. I've emailed asking for it. I haven't got a response. But from what I understand, it should be revealed to the reader in issue 3 at the end. Then issue 4, it's revealed to everyone.
So, if y'all didn't know, Steve has the hookup at Boom Studios.
I do. I really
Inside
do.
track.
I
And see,
do.
that's what I was talking about a while ago. You know, when you're that much of a Power Rangers fan, of course, Boom. Which, as an aside, I think that Boom is doing an awesome job with their comics this year. A lot
They
of their
really are.
titles are stuff that I pick up, and so when I see the Boom label, I give it the benefit of a doubt before I even read it. So, I mean, that's how well they are doing. Little spec here.
What's hold on, let me see.
A clone of Zordon.
No.
Yeah, okay. Wax says, hadn't read any Power Rangers comics. I did read the Justice League crossover, though, and sort of counts. Yeah, it does. Well, what got me to getting into Power Rangers again was the crossover with TMNT and Power Rangers.
Okay. Did you like that?
Yeah, I liked it for what it was, right? I mean, I wasn't looking for any in-depth story. I wasn't looking for some huge mystery. I was looking for 80s, late 80s, early 90s cartoon, kind of goodness, and that's exactly what it was, right? And to me, and so then I was like, okay, well, this is cool. And so I started really getting back to Turtles at that point, and so then I kind of veered over and let me catch up the Mighty Morphin. And the other thing about the Power Rangers books that drew me to them is I'm a sucker for foil covers, and so they had all those nice shiny foil covers, like this one right here that I bought from John's Comics with Kids, which I planned on getting signed when I got my
I love it. I
Pop
love
signed.
it. You know, and that's the first appearance in there too.
Oh, so there you go. And this one right here is a killer cover too. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of what got me there. And not knowing, you had kind of told me. So if you want to tell everybody else that's listening, what if somebody is like us, just kind of thinks about the OG team and they don't know anything up to this point, and they want a kind of good starting point to get into the comics? What would be a good starting point for them to kind of pick up and know what's going on currently?
Okay. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 55 would be a good jumping on point. You're still going to be a little bit confused about what's going on. But after that, like, you could pick, like, you're going to want to read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 55, Mighty Morphin #1, and then Power Rangers #1. After that, you can pick whichever book you want or continue to read both. Like, after issue 1 of Power Rangers, they really break off into their own stories. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 55, Mighty Morphin #1, and then Power Rangers #1. Those 3 books, and then right now they're both have just finished issue 2 as well. So issue 3 of Mighty Morphin comes out next week. Issue 3 of Power Rangers comes out in 2 weeks. My daughter just got hurt. It's fine. So that's what I would say. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 55. That is here we go. I got the Comic Tom exclusive here. First appearance. Oh, you got it too. Of the new Green Ranger, though this is not what he looks like. So this cover, he looks like the original Green Ranger, which is cool, but that is not how the new Green Ranger looks. He looks like this. He's got those long white gloves. He's got the gold on the helmet as well, though the dagger is curved. You can't see it here, but the dagger is curved at the end as well, and there's a reason for that.
So as far as were you planning on sending that into JDF to get signed at CGC?
Nope, because if I'm going to get something signed by JDF, I want to meet him again.
Okay.
I do have a signature from him. It's around here. I think it's around here somewhere. I don't know. It's over there somewhere.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole fun of it to me is getting to meet people in person.
Yeah.
And so you don't have that with those CGC signings. I mean, and JDF's still a younger guy, so odds are that he's still going to be around a while, visiting
Oh
the
yeah.
con and giving you a chance to meet him again. But I sent my books off to CGC for Roy Thomas, which I'm going to be getting those books back Friday. So there's a plug for that show because I'm going to be, those are some big books. We're talking about Hulk 180, 181, 182,
Ooh.
Short 1, and Marvel Premiere 15, which is the first appearance of Iron Fist.
Yep.
And I already know what the grades are, but I'm not going to tell y'all. You'll have to check that out for yourself. So we do got 10 people up in the chat. We only need 10 more people to give away those books that I showed a while ago that Steve said I'm going to regret it later. And that's Go-Go Power Rangers #1. Free comic book day, Power Rangers, the Road to Ranger Slayer. And then also Power Rangers #1 of the recent iteration. So yes, that is right. It does help the Augie rhythm. But yeah, so we're going to give away those 3 books if we can get 20 people up in here. So
cool.
Talking about our mentioned Road to Ranger Slayer, what did you think of the series?
Okay, so that Ranger Slayer #1 free comic book day is actually, they took snippets from like 4 books in a row from Go-Go Power Rangers from when the Ranger Slayer makes her first appearance in issue 8 of Go-Go Power Rangers. She has a storyline. Obviously, there's other storylines that are happening in the book. So they took just her parts and they put them all together into that free comic. So people that don't know who she is could read that before the Ranger Slayer one-shot came out, which the Ranger Slayer one-shot might be the best single Power Rangers book that I've read. It's that good. Both the free comic book day and the Ranger Slayer one-shot are both written by Ryan Parrott, who is writing right now Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. He took over from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in issue 40. He did the entire Go-Go Power Rangers run. It's a very, very, very amazing writer. I love his writing. But he did not follow that with the Draken New Dawn 1 through 3. That was written by someone else, Anthony Birch. But that followed the Ranger Slayer kind of taking over as the new Lord Draken. And for people that don't know, the Ranger Slayer is a Pink Ranger from an alternate universe where she became bad and then she became good again. And that universe is where Lord Draken is from. And that is the evil Tommy that decided never to join the Power Rangers. He decided to stay a evil Green Ranger, and he ended up being so evil that he killed Rita. You going to bed?
I love you, Daddy.
I love you. It's morphin time. So that's a little synopsis about Ranger Slayer and Lord Draken.
So you told me something I was unaware of, because I was thinking that this led into the 3-part miniseries, which I read. So there's another book that I need to get before, because I read the 3-part miniseries.
So the 3-part miniseries is great. No, I didn't really like the ending to it, but no, there's a book before that. It is the Ranger Slayer one-shot, and it is. I mean, I want to say it's like $6.99 or $7.99. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. So, I mean, it kind of follows her, obviously, back in her home world, and it leads up to why she looks different in the Draken New Dawn series. Did you notice that she looks different than she does there on the cover of the Free Comic Book Day book?
Right.
So at the end of Ranger Slayer one shot, it shows why she looks different. So read that; it's really good.
So, as far as the miniseries, not a huge, Power Ranger aficionado or anything. I actually enjoyed it. I was kind of hesitant at first, so maybe it was low expectations, because in this day and age, everybody wants to make the girl, and we're not here to, cross swords or anything, but make the girl the main super baddie over the guy just for the girls over the guy's sake. Whereas if I'm okay with that, if you build up to that, right? If there's character development, if the power scale makes sense, but just to do it just for the sake of making a statement, it ruins the character. To me, that series didn't do that. You kind of understood why that, how she was, where she was at, kind of the decisions she had to make in order to get there at the end. I won't spoil it for anybody who hadn't read it, but yeah, I mean, I liked it. So
it's really good, for sure. But like I said, you really do need to go back and read that Ranger Slayer one shot. You're gonna read it and be like, wow, I really should have read this before. But a lot of people like you, like people that aren't Power Ranger fans, like they don't know like the reading order of stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and when series start skipping around like that, it's real easy to get lost, right?
Yes. How many people we got? We got 11.
Well, we got 11, 9 away from making it happen. So there you go.
Talking about, I just want to show this off really quick. I'm sorry.
All right, cool.
We're talking about Draken New Dawn.
Yeah.
We'll say the 616 Comics had some of the best covers. This is issue 1 by Steve Morris of Lord Draken, which everyone thought before the series was going to be about Lord Draken, which he's in it a lot, but it's actually really more about, this is issue 2 from the 616 and Simple Man's, more about the Ranger Slayer. And this is a beautiful cover as well. Issue 2, they're exclusive. And this is issue 3 by Steve Morris again, by the 616 Comics. This features the first appearance of the Shattered as well. So
cool. Yeah. So 616 Comics. Mm-hmm. There's a code that you can, of course, give out to anybody.
Thanks 10. I'll put it in there.
Yeah. So if you want to order anything from 616 Comics, which I just ordered this past Saturday, the Exo Manowar 4 that's coming out. And I know they have a lot of Turtles stuff and Power Ranger stuff. And so, yeah, check them out and use that code and save 10% on your order. So. And
Austin LeMay just ordered that Spawn 1 of 100 for crossover 3 from the 616 Comics tonight.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you saw the Burke fan.
Yeah, I saw that. So, I mean, yeah, when you start talking about those bigger books, 10% is 10%.
I mean, it really is. It's nice for sure.
So, so I know that you said that you're collecting both series,
mm-hmm.
And we're only 2 issues. Well, let's say the Common Man is only 2 issues in. I know that
I have not read issue 3 yet. I'm going to get my latest on Friday. I think they're behind on their emails. They haven't seen mine yet. I was about to send another one and ask for it, even though I'm going to get it on Friday regardless.
So this is the 1 per store variant for both Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin. And so we're only 2 issues in. What do you think? If you had to pick one, which one were you going with?
Between Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers?
Yeah.
The common reader, like yourself, or someone else that doesn't really know Power Rangers, I would probably say Power Rangers, because it's more like, it reminds me of Lost in Space more. Like, you don't really have to know that much Power Ranger stuff. You just know that they're Power Rangers and they're doing something and something's going on, and it's really interesting. While the people that are searching for the nostalgia, I would definitely say Mighty Morphin, though they're written by the same person, and so they're both really, really good. Now I've actually been liking the Power Rangers series more than Mighty Morphin, but I've really enjoyed both a lot. So
yeah, and I think I told you one, but I think I got them backwards. So the Power Ranger series is the one with Lord Draken in it, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's the one that interests me because it does have a different vibe to it. There's enough characters that I can get behind, and then the Draken thing kind of I like that. So that was kind of the deal. But I think you're right. This, when I read it, was more like the age-old, hey, the putties show up, it's morphin time, let's just kick things around. So that's kind of the deal there. And so I don't know, I'm assuming that this is probably Dustin.
It is Dustin.
Year 1 hardcover. is sure the best way, in my opinion. That's the cream of the crop.
He's talking about the first, like basically 16 issues, but really like the first like 9 issues, 0 through 9 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers when it first came out. At that time, it was written by Kyle Higgins and was a different artist, Hendry Presetia. That first story arc, the first couple story arcs, are amazing. Like before even Shattered Grid, which happens in 25, the first couple story arcs, issues 0 through 16, are some of the best writing I've ever seen, and the art is on point. So he's 100% right. If you're definitely going to read, if you want to start anywhere in Power Rangers and you just want good writing and good art, read year 1, 0 through really 16 issues.
Okay. And so, yeah, if you want to get on board. Now, I know Boom is releasing a crowdfunded thing. Now, what is all that about?
It's a Kickstarter. So I don't know if you know what, like, okay, so Kickstarters are basically like you back it and you have to back it for a certain amount. And they have different tiers. And then every time more people back it, once it gets past a certain amount, then it unlocks an extra tier for you, even though you've already paid. And so like it's for as little as like, I want to say it's like 300 or 400. You can get, actually it's 125 if you want a single hard copy of any of the volumes, because they separated it into 6 volumes. It's 350 pages, and it's oversized, obviously, and it shows off like all the different tie-ins for the different books from 0 through 55, which just ended. And so they broke it down by 6 issues, 6 Rangers. Each book gets their own Ranger, and then you can, if you want all 5, it's like $500. If you want the one and a cover for it that shows like each one of them morphing, actually they're already morphing, but if you want one where they're like fully geared up with the morpher on it, it's an extra $100. And then if you want another cover on top of that, that's like the Zord cover, it's another $100. And so that's basically what they're doing. And then there's more tiers after that, but I didn't look past.
So are you in?
Here's what I'm going to say. I really want it.
Yeah.
And I think it would display nicely if I'm like Jim Mint and I got all those things behind me, if all those omnibuses, like it would display nicely to have all of the Power Rangers there. I don't have room for it. I already have the single issues, unless I got like a bookshelf back here somewhere and I was able to display them, or I moved my room over where you show more of the room and then I could take up more space. Then I might do it. But still, like the one I wanted was $600. Not including it's $50 to get it shipped to you. So I don't know if I can do $650 for something that I don't even want to touch, because if you open those hardcovers, it pretty much messes up the spine. I'd rather just look at it. So I don't really know if I want to spend $650 on something to just look at that's just a hardcover. That's not a comic. So, and so I don't know. It's a really cool initiative. It's at like $300,000 and it just announced it like 36 hours ago. So
wow. Well, now was it Dustin that messed up his binding for his hardcover, or was?
Yes, it was.
For I think his TMNT book or something. So
it was his TMNT book, yeah. The deluxe year 1, or not year 1, volume 1 for the IDW series.
Yeah. What's going on, Tapia Family Unlimited Comics?
You are 10 away still from your giveaway.
How many?
We are 10 away from your giveaway.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. Yeah. So, put scratch off the scab to the old wound, so to speak. You kind of fixed it. Duct tape will fix anything, Dustin. So there you go.
Oh boy. I would put duct tape on a hardcover book.
Look, that will hurt your feelings all day long. It's just like getting tape stuck on a comic.
Oh, I've done that multiple times.
Oh yeah, I remember back in the day, and I had an Infinity Gauntlet #1. That's a black cover. Took it, thought, because I used to put tape on either side of the back, but I was too lazy to kind of take it off. So if I took it off, I would kind of put my hand here while I took the comic out. and hope that the tape didn't touch. The tape caught and it tore.
After I did it on my Batman 189, before I got it graded, which I was so pissed off at myself because I know it took off like a half point at least. After I did that, now every single time I take out a comic, I take the tape off before I take it out, or I tape it to the bag.
Yeah. That'll make you just want to hit something, especially if it's a big comic like that. So,
Yeah.
Saying that special binding glue works good. Didn't do the greatest job lining it up. You only get one.
I wonder if you got that. I wonder if he got advice from Gem Mint on that, since Gem Mint's got so many hardcovers and omnibuses. I wonder if he helped him out there. I'm sure he did. I'm sure.
Well, I know that since then, because like the next book he got, I remember seeing on the channel that he was like opening it up a certain way, because that's the way Jim says he opens up all his omnibuses as not to mess them up. So, yeah, definitely there.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I know that you were showing off some covers, and
Yeah.
although we kind of basically said that Power Rangers is the better jam, so to speak, I mean, these covers have been great.
Lee is killing it on those covers, man. Hook Lee is killing it. Though there is a Derek Chew cover for issue 4 that is a 1 of 100, half unmasked, of the new Green Ranger. It was put out there by Bleeding Cool. It's taken down. It's a BA cover. Now there's also a 1 of 500 for issue. I think it's either 1 of 200 or 1 of 500 for issue 4 that has the whole team, and they're all unmasked as well. And it is really cool. It's all of these, but you can see their face as well. And
Okay.
it's all of them on one single cover. So
Is it still vertical? Or is it horizontal?
no, it's vertical.
Okay.
He did this cover I'm about to show off is my favorite Hook Lee Power Rangers cover he did. This is issue 0, the 1 of 100 that I bought from the 616. This is the same as the regular cover, but not the trade dress, and it doesn't have that like lightning bolt on the side. You just get all the Rangers there looking super awesome. So I feel like at some point I should get each one of the Rangers to sign this or something. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
But this cover is beautiful.
So I know that the majority of the Rangers, they make the circuit, as far as the Comic Cons and the stuff like that. So whatever happened to the girl that played the Yellow Ranger?
The original Yellow Ranger, she passed away. I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was a car crash.
Oh, okay.
So that's
I
why,
knew she was rather young. So
that's why she's never really around, which sucks because she's the only Power Ranger of the original that's not around. Like everyone else is. Bulk and Skull, all the other Rangers, even though kind of like the original Red Ranger and Tommy the Green Ranger, they kind of don't like each other like at all. They still post for photos together at like big events. So,
well, you put two alphas in a room. I mean, what's going to happen, right?
I mean, that's pretty much exactly why they don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
as far as because in Huntsville they were supposed to, and Dustin can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they were supposed to have the Black Ranger, the Blue Ranger, and the Green Ranger, and they ended up having the red one. So maybe he was originally on that slated too last year.
I don't know if you've noticed, but they're hardly ever at the same con.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Ranger will never go to the same one as the Red Ranger. I don't know what there's a whole story, and I've heard it, but it's stupid. Like they were together though at the premiere of the 2017 Power Rangers movie, and they took a picture together. That's the only time I've seen them together though in the last 10 years. So
wow. Yeah, and when the Corona hit, I know that several of them started dropping off and whatever, and I think the red one ended up still coming, which he was supposed to come to one in Birmingham, Alabama, and that con got canceled. So well, they had the con in Huntsville last year, despite everything, one of the few ones that still moved on. So hopefully they're going to be full blazing forward in April of this year. If you're down there in that area or close enough to drive, then and you are interested in getting some SIGs, that'd be the place to go.
Boom. I want to meet after Two Bros interviewed Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger. I definitely want to try to interview some Power Rangers at the next con I go to, because I feel like I'm gonna have a good shot at getting a media pass. So that'd be cool.
There you go. There you go. So that con that I sent, had you ever heard about that con that was near to you?
What's the name of it?
It was something. I sent it in that Burt family thread earlier. I think Panda responded back to it, but you didn't.
Today.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look real quick. I mean, the one that's close to us is always Planet Comic Con. So that's one in Kansas City, and that's the one he's usually always at. So
yeah. So Austin St. John, Dustin says all business, straight up man's man. After talking to him, had a new respect for him. JDF and him talked Harley. So there you go.
Yeah, and I've heard that story too.
So as far as Austin St. John, so when I went and got him in Tupelo, Mississippi, got him to sign that Power Rangers pop, that he was just like, all right, in here. All right. Yeah, okay. See you later. I'm like, okay, I just dropped $50 for you to sign that. At least you can't,
yeah, exactly. At least let me talk to you. Okay,
yeah,
so Kansas City Con.
Yeah, it's not like I'm asking him to bow down and kiss my rear or anything, but I mean, at least say, hey man, how's it going? What do you remember the best? Who was your favorite Ranger? Even I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to lie to him, but I'm actually in retrospect probably kind of glad he didn't ask me that, because I wouldn't have lied to him.
Well, I'll tell you what. So everyone talks bad on Tom King, and I'm one of Tom King's biggest people that I dislike his writing. Like his last 30 issues, 40 issues of Batman were trash. But having said all that, when I met him in person, that was one of the best experiences I've ever had meeting a creator. Like he's like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm like, good. He's like, what do you want to see in Batman, and what do you do for a living? So I was like, I don't know what I want to see in Batman, but I'm a teacher, and I obviously at the time Batman was really good because it was right after Batman asked Catwoman to marry him. So I was like, oh yeah, your writing's great. What do you have planned? And he was just super nice to talk to. But then I met Brian Azzarello, and that was one of the worst experiences of my life, meeting someone. So I don't know. It's weird how sometimes you have a good experience, sometimes you have a bad experience.
And everybody's entitled to a bad day, right?
Sure.
Because I've met some creators that other people are like, oh, those were such douchebags, and I'm like, well, they were really nice to me, but and vice versa. So as far as Tom King goes, I think that Tom King does better on miniseries or maxi series,
sure,
not long runs. So I've heard that his
Mr. Miracle run is really good.
Miracle's great. And what's the other one? Adam Strange that he's doing. I've heard it's good. I haven't read it.
He does good with non characters that are characters are off the beaten path. Like he writes a good Booster Gold as well. Like he does good at these characters that are not straight edge Batman, Superman, whatever. He does better at those weird characters because he's kind of weird himself. So.
Well, and maybe that's it, or maybe we just don't have as much invested in those characters as what we have in Batman to say, hey, we formulated Batman as this in my mind. As opposed to the others. He also likes to write couples, it seems. He did that with Mr. Miracle. And then, therefore, he didn't create, but he really built up the whole Catwoman-Batman dynamic more than what it had been previously. So, what do you do? But yeah, so thoughts on Power Rangers going forward. I know you said you haven't, although you probably will have the email to be able to read it a little bit ahead of schedule. But do you like overall where things are things are going with Boom and with Power Rangers.
Yes, I'm really enjoying it, though I would really enjoy it if Ryan Parrott would respond to me and come onto my channel. I've asked him 2 years ago, and then like he ghosted me, but like he hasn't blocked me. He just won't respond to coming on my channel. Anyways, his writing is really good, and I am excited about what they're doing with Power Rangers in general. Like I was really excited about them bringing back the Green Ranger, even though it's a new character and a different person. Like the Green Ranger is what I grew up with. Like obviously I watched the '95 movie. I know that he becomes a White Ranger, and White Ranger's cool, but not as cool as the Green Ranger. And I've really enjoyed that they're bringing back that Green Ranger, and now the dynamic between White Ranger and Green Ranger. And there's more to it as well, and you're going to find out here in issue 3 and 4, kind of why it's going to be a bigger dynamic and how it's going to affect the whole team, really. And then, like you said earlier, I like that they're playing basically outside the lines with the Power Rangers series, and he can do whatever he wants with the Omega Rangers because they're non-canon, which I think is really interesting. There's like 30 different teams that he could have used from all the different seasons for an extra book, and he decided just to create a brand new team. So I thought that was interesting, but it's been really good, and it's allowed him to really come up with some really cool stories and make it very fun and interesting. The dynamic with Lord Draken there makes it even better because you kind of got that Dr. Smith vibe from Lost in Space, or the Loki vibe. It's like, yeah, I'll help you, but only if it benefits me, and I'll help whoever I can as long as they will help me too. So I like that dynamic as well, and I'm really enjoying what they're doing right now, and I'm excited to see if Lord Draken ever gets his powers back, and if he becomes kind of like the Joker of the Power Rangers Boom Studios line, and if they're ever going to do like a Mega Rangers versus Mighty Morphin, because they kind of don't like each other right now. It'd be really cool to see like them fight each other. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. There's a whole bunch of different opportunities for great storylines going forward, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that it's interesting that you made that analogy with Loki, because that's the exact same thing I thought. Here's a guy, he can be good, and I feel like at some point he's going to exercise good, but in the back of your mind, you wonder, is he really kind of showing his true colors, or is he doing it for himself, right? So is there really hidden good inside of him? Because there was a point, I forget what issue it was, but they asked him about going and saving the Rangers.
Yep.
And so they said, hey, basically that, and I thought he was going to go and be the Green Ranger, me not knowing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I already knew that he wasn't. Like, I guessed it before the whole thing happened, but I did know from my inside sources that it was going to be someone else. But they did try to make you think it was going to be him, though. If you read it, like if you read like issue 55 a second time, and you read very closely to what Grace Sterling says, it's very, very clear that she did not go to him to ask him to become the new Green Ranger. She went to him to ask him for something else.
Okay. So yeah, that's definitely a cool dynamic that they're playing off there. So are you collecting the A covers, or all the covers, the shiny foil covers, or what?
I'm collecting the A covers for Mighty Morphin, and then obviously the 616 covers that I announce. And then for Power Rangers, I'll just grab whatever cover I can.
Okay. So
I don't need like an awesome cover for every single book. You know what I mean? Like if I see something really cool, I get it, Like, but since we're between Draken New Dawn and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, we're like close to 70 different issues. And like, I like all the covers, obviously, but I don't need all the really cool variants unless I see something cool, like the 1 of 100. Like I really wanted that, I bought that. But no, I'm not. I'll just get whatever I can just to read them, and if I see something cool, I'll buy it. So
yeah, so I'm really surprised you didn't bring out, when you were showing off some of your books, that you didn't bring out a single Clayton Crane. Quickly Remedy? All right, let me make it bigger.
I mean, this one.
Yeah.
Maybe you were talking about this one. Were you talking about this one?
Actually, I was talking about the first one, but yeah, the second one's pretty sick too. You know, which I'm a Clayton Crane fan anyway, but I mean that's awesome, and I love on that white cover because I think you posted it on Instagram.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I mean that's just so sick.
And what's cool about it is like when you look at these covers now, and like I've seen him do enough remarks and sketch covers. It's like when I'm looking at these covers, I can see how he did it. Like I can't do it. I could watch him do it 1,000 times. I can't do it, but I can in my mind, I can see how he did it because he makes it look like so effortless, and it's just cool every single time. So yeah, I'm gonna get this one slabbed in a CBCS case for sure.
So in Clayton Crane, I've got several. Do I got several or just one? I know I've got a Rye sketch over there of his. But I seen him do a black cover that was a Ghost Rider sketch, and he had the what do you call it? Where the painters they put their little thumb in, they have all the little paints around.
So he always puts his thumbprint on it if he does a sketch or a remark to tell you what day he did it.
Right, yeah, he does that, but no, he had what's the little painters thing that you the painters always put their thumb in, they dab the little paint in while they're holding it, kind of like Bob Ross.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
So, all right, while he was doing that, he was sitting there with the paint, just painting this Ghost Rider on that black cover. And I mean, it was super fire. It was somebody else's. But
he does it so quick.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when I met him earlier this year, I was sitting there like, what do I want him to get? Because I've got several blank covers that I keep. And this is just me, but like if some artists are like fire on everything they do, and some artists do really good at certain characters that they don't really do good on others. And so if I know that I'm wanting to get a sketch from said certain artist, I want to have that sketch cover ready, and I'm kind of in my mind thinking, what would I like to see them draw? And so I was trying to figure out what to do on him, and unfortunately he was only doing 3 sketches, and he had already scheduled all of them that day, so I wasn't able to get another one from him.
I remember when you were sitting outside that day, you did a video or a live stream. I remember that, so that was cool.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be coming back, my understanding, because I went back to the shop again.
He's supposed to do another road tour and supposedly going to all of the same shops, if not more, or at least the ones that want to do them again. So I'm getting some books ready.
Yeah.
Like the one that I ordered, that Wolverine 8.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that thing is...
You got the blacklight one, though, right?
eBay.
No, Did you got the blacklight one, too, though?
I got the trade dress, and I got the blacklight. I bought the blacklight when it went on sale on KRScomics.com the next day. It sold out in 1 minute, and I was able to get one for $65 shipped.
Yeah, so I remember you went live to do that, but it seems like you were on a Christmas or New Year's stream or something, and I ordered.
I was on KP's Christmas Eve stream, and I ordered 2 copies of the trade dress, one for me and one for Carlito. So I'm going to have one of each.
Okay. So I asked you about that con earlier. You never heard of that?
No, I never. I mean, it appears to be a day con in City, and if it's a big con, it's 3 days. So
sure.
So I probably won't go to that. I'd rather go to and it doesn't help that it's the same weekend as my wife's birthday. So.
Well, hey, it's a birthday present. She gets to go to
She doesn't
books.
She doesn't do comics. She couldn't tell me a single thing about comics.
So Flash had said earlier, if you want another one shot to read, Ranger Slayer suggests Soul of the Dragon.
So Soul of the Dragon is I guess you consider it's a one shot. It's an OGN, so it's original graphic novel.
Okay.
It is about Tommy the Green Ranger, but as he's a dad, because he actually like later in the series he dated the second Pink Ranger. After he dated the first Pink Ranger, he dated the second Pink Ranger. Her name was Kat. In the story, him and Kat got married. They had kids, and then one of them gets in trouble, and he's got to go save one of them. And not only does he have to go save him, he's old now, he's hurt, but he's got the powers of all of his Rangers, so he can become any of them, and it's really cool. So yeah, it's really really good. It's about 100 pages or so, 80 to 100, I want to say, and it's amazing. So.
Cool. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to give away that book, and based on what you said, I might be glad about that. But
yeah, so you definitely want to keep that Go Power Rangers #1.
So, all right. Well, having said that, what I'll tell you what we'll do, just because I'm a nice guy. Okay, we've got 10 people, 10 or more or less, but I think currently 10 people hanging out with us right now. And so we do appreciate you coming out and just hanging out, talking about Power Rangers. Don't know if you're a big fan like Steve is, or somebody that kind of knows some stuff, maybe enough to be dangerous like me. But so why don't we do this? I will give away this book right here, The Power Rangers #1. So Shattered Glass Comics is up in the house. It says Power Rangers. So why don't we do this? I'm not sure if Kanye did that. There's no telling. So as far as this goes, Steve, I'm going to rely on your Power Rangers knowledge here. So I'm going to put a start line. I'm going to get a start line ready. And Steve is going to ask a trivia question. And once that start line is dropped, the first person that gives the right answer is the person that will get this Power Rangers #1 of the recently relaunched series.
So the question is about the Power Rangers or Power Rangers comics. Which one? Or both?
Yeah, it could be both. It can be either or, whatever.
Okay. Okay, give me a second here. Okay.
Maybe something that maybe the casual fan might know too, though, but not too easy.
Okay. All right, hold on. Man, this is tough because it's like there's a lot of us hardcore ones that like I could ask any question that anyone would know that, but the people that are like casual, I'm like, okay, how easy do I have to make this question? Okay. All right. I got it.
All right, go ahead.
The question is, what is it called when they all come together to form this machine? What is this machine called of all of the things coming together? What is that called?
Okay. I think I know the answer to that one. Well, the starting line has been dropped. And so
2 rows.
Well, look at there. There you go.
Panda comes in just at the end to try to win something. Look at him. He's like the stands at the other end of the court during a basketball game, and it just picks the baskets. You know what I mean?
Hey, with the way Legion of Comics' luck's been, I'm surprised it wasn't him.
I don't think he's in here.
Oh, okay. Well, he was here earlier. So, but yeah, so, he's been winning all these things as of lately. So
he just wanted to be the first one, right? Give it to the next person. The next person would be Panda.
Okay. Dang, Panda, you win a lot of stuff from me. So
if Panda doesn't want it, the next person would be Shattered Glass Comic Reviews. Because unfortunately, Fresh News 24/7, it is Mega Zord, not Mega Force. Mega Force is a season of Power Rangers, though.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, I guess Panda, you have passing rights if you already got that book and want to pass on it. And
He wants to pass it to Shattered Glass.
all right, Shattered Glass, you are the fortunate recipient of this book right here. And since I already have an extra of the free comic book day book, I'll throw that in for you too. Just hit me up on IG.
Oh,
And
perfect.
there you go.
That's awesome.
So now you got it. And so hit me up on IG with your address and I'll send it out to you.
I love Tyler from Shattered Glass Comic Reviews. He's a great dude.
Yeah, I know he does a lot of stuff with Whack Comics, and there you go.
He does.
Well, so yeah. So one other question before we kind of wrap things up a little bit. So am I correct in my understanding that is it Saban or Saban?
Saban.
Okay, Saban. All right, this Saban bought the rights back from Power Rangers to only sell them again?
He sold them at least twice, if not 3 times now. Yeah, every single time he's made a profit.
I mean, well, good for him. I mean, he's living the dream, right?
I mean, he's already rich, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah, it was just curious because I had read something that he had bought the rights back to make the last movie that was made. And it didn't really go all that well or whatever like that. And then he sells it again. And so I'm like, well, what did he do that for? Because if you notice I noticed that on the back of this one right here, Hasbro, which owns a buttload of properties,
they own it.
They own it. So
they own the rights to all Power Rangers. Boom Studios is the ones that prints the comics.
Yeah, what about,
no.
So yeah, so there you go. So as we're kind of wrapping things up, Steve, I know you always got a ton of content dropping on your channel. You want to do some shout outs, some plugs for your channel and things you got going on?
I've been doing like 2 videos a day the last couple of days. And I'm trying to catch up since I didn't do very many last week because the holiday. I dropped a comic books to invest in for 2021. I dropped my top picks for new comic book day as well. I dropped a video on what book that did come out today that you do not want to miss. I also just dropped a TMNT Last Ronin, basically how it was affecting CGC and some of the problems they've had overall. I just dropped that a couple hours ago. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a comic haul for my new comic book day tomorrow. And then I'm also going to be doing my Thursday night chat tomorrow night. And we should be reviewing, from what I understand, crossover number 3, Thor 11, and we'll talk some Future State and a few other books as well. But I'm pretty sure the first 2 are crossover number 3 and Thor 11. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. And then we'll have some more videos coming this weekend as well. Daily content is back and in full swing.
So Wax does the I thought this was trademarked by Steve, doing shameless plugs in other people's chats. But yeah, so he put
all right.
But anyways, so yeah, always good stuff. I enjoyed it's been a month ago, I guess now, that you had a whole new cast of characters, if you will, myself and Ruben Guzman and just talking it up.
Going to be on tomorrow night. We'll see. I know Ryan's going to be there. I'm pretty sure Panda's going to be there, but Dustin is always invited. And then if he's not there, then we'll make adjustments as needed. So
it's no truth to the rumors that you took away his wrench for his Power Rangers talk, right?
I took it. What?
I'm just teasing you. So
I had like 500 subscribers when I met them, and they had like 30, and now they have like 2,200, and I'm still in less than 2,000. So
Yeah, I mean,
enough to do on their own channel. They don't need to be on mine. I would love to have Dustin on every week, but I know he's busy with family stuff in his own channel. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Looks like Panda's going to be there, and Ryan's going to be there for sure, and then Dustin is always a seat at the table, and then if he's not there, then we'll see who else wants to join.
well, I know that, yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're dropping as much content as you and two brothers are to collaborate and, get schedules working together because of life and everything else too.
For sure, for sure. And I'll be honest, if I was doing a weekly show on someone else's, which I used to do, after a while, you do kind of get burnt out. Why am I going on this other dude's channel for him to get all these views when I could just be doing it on my channel? So
Sure.
I think Dustin is doing amazing stuff on his channel, and I love the guy, and I hope he's there tomorrow. If not, we'll see who else wants to join, and if not, we'll just do a 3-man show. I love Adrian and Ryan.
So yeah, so I'm sure it's good stuff as always. As far as my channel, we've got tomorrow I will be on Thunder God's channel selling books. Then tomorrow during the day, I have one video that's going to be dropping, which was my new comic book day video and a rant video. So be sure to hit the bell notification.
What do you rant?
Yeah, there's always a rant of some kind. I hope I'm not turning into that old guy that says, "Hey kids, get off my lawn."
Get off my lawn, man.
But yeah, so that's going to be dropping. That's a pre-recorded video. I might go live tomorrow if my CBCS books are coming in. I got a surprise today. My CBCS books from the July Comic Con are finally coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard that right. July.
Same.
Well, and to be CBCS, I have gotten all the rest of them. These were 2 that I had pressed, and so they're just now getting through them. And so the wait time was about as long as CGC's wait time was when I had them press one of my books. If these 2 come back with good grades and a cover still attached, they will still be ahead of CGC. So there you go. And then Friday, I've got, of course, the giveaway video. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be for the X-Men 4 for everybody that's already entered there. But as you know, I probably will be giving away some other stuff as well. And might go live again a second time, or maybe do a pre-recorded video because my CGC books from the Roy Thomas signing are in. And those are the big boy books that I mentioned earlier. So, and it was give and take, so some good, some bad, but you'll have to watch it to check it out. And then on Saturday, I'll be live on my channel as we do the Saturday morning cartoon crew, and me and Lady Fantastic, Tacoma Comics, and several other cast of characters will be on there slinging some books as well. So if you hit that bell notification and the subscribe button, you shouldn't miss it, because I also drop stuff over on the IG. I did mean to mention it earlier, but if you've been living under a rock and you're not familiar with Burt Family 54 Comics, his Instagram and his YouTube channel are in the description below. Sub him up and get him over that 2,000, because he's doing a giveaway, which I think you mentioned earlier, but I'm not sure if it was on the first go around or the second go around.
I'm doing a giveaway for reaching I'm really close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm going to show off what I'm giving away real quick, and just mention that there may be something else as well. We'll see. I'm giving away a Batman 24 and a CGC 9.8. This is where Batman asks Catwoman to marry him, as well as a TMNT Last Ronin #1 first print. Giving that away for reaching 2,000 subs. A link to my, sorry, not a link. Just make sure you go to my channel. You'll see it. I posted it like a couple weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't know. But I'm giving that away. All you have to do is just comment, and then I might be adding something else as well. We'll see.
And so one more thing before we finish this, I promised myself I was going to ask you this question. Burt Family 54 Comics, where did the name come from? Cliff Notes version.
Last name is Birkeland, so Burke, short. It's my nickname always. Family. I want anyone in anywhere to feel like they can watch my channel, whether they're a child or a parent or they're watching as a family. I'm also a teacher, so I want anyone that I work with, administrators, obviously, and coworkers, to look at it and be like, oh, that's a fine YouTube channel. There's nothing negative about that. 54 was my grandpa's high school football number. Same year he graduated was my high school football number that I chose because of him, because he was like my best friend until he died. And then comics, obviously. I like comic books.
Okay.
The abbreviated version.
I got you. Well, yeah, and so I kind of figured most of that. The 54 was kind of what had me stumped. So that makes sense. Well, I do appreciate you jumping on the show and agreeing to do this. I do appreciate you doing it a second time when we had technical difficulties. So the other video, it's still there out there in the YouTube. Go thumbs up it and whatever like that. But the vast majority of the content was in this video because of technical difficulties of the first one. So I do appreciate you agreeing to jump on. Having said all that, giving our parting words and where we're all going to be at. Till next time, keep reading, keep collecting, folks. Adios.